All right, welcome to the Krueg Show, everybody. Larry Krueger, Dan Coccimilgio with you. Hope everybody's having a phenomenal Friday, the beginning of the baseball playoffs today. And why don't we hit the band? There we go. Here we go. Baseball playoffs, 4 games today, and 3 of them are in the books. We're waiting on Mets Padres. Danny, good to see you. And I'm not sure if Rye will join us or not today, but if he does, the Guardians beat the Rays 2-1. The young Guardians go up 1-0 on the Tampa Bay Rays behind Bieber. Bieber beat McClanahan, and the Guardians get a 2-1 win. Guardians had 8 hits. Rays only had 3. And Cleveland's up 1-0 in that series. And then the Phillies win 6-3 over the Cardinals in St. Louis to go up 1-0 in that series. Mariners have defeated Toronto 4-0 to go up 1-0 in that series. And then tonight, minutes from now, right? Starting right now as we speak, Max Scherzer against Yu Darvish, Padres at Citi Field against the Mets. Who do you like tonight, and what do you think of the game so far?
Well, yeah, nothing surprised me. Playoffs, you get pitching. I mean, Luis Castillo, wow. What a trade that's turned out so far to be for Seattle.
Luis Castillo was totally dominant for the Mariners today, and they signed him, of course, to that extension.
The biggest surprise to me was the meltdown of the Cardinals in the 9th inning. You had the flamethrower Helsley in there, and he was just wild all over. Couldn't get anybody out in the 9th. They came out. They had nobody warming up in the pen. They started warming up, guys, and he loaded the bases. And then the manager comes out, and he kind of brings out the trainer. I thought it was a pretty good move bringing the trainer out because it gave the bullpen a chance to get, a little bit more loose. And then they took him out. They kind of looked at his hand. Supposedly he got hit in the hand from a comebacker on Tuesday night. Grabbed his hand, tried to catch the ball with his hand or something. I don't know what I heard something like that. But the fact that the Cardinals blew a 2-0 lead, they were 93-0. I heard the announcer say, I think it was Michael Kay, in playoff history since dating back many, many years ago,
what a
80s.
Kick to the gut for the Cardinals. You got a 2-0 lead going to the 9th, and you give up a 6th spot.
Oh, yeah. Now tomorrow you come right back, and it could be over.
Yeah.
That's the thing with this, best of 3. Now Philadelphia goes in tomorrow with incredible momentum, and they got Nola going tomorrow, I believe, and he just pitched a gem his last game. I think he was I think he had a no-hitter or something going last game. His last game he pitched in the season. But, that's the only way the Phillies can win this is if they win with Nola, I believe, and Wheeler, because you go into game 3, there's a big drop-off for the Phillies for their starting pitching. So,
Wheeler looked good. 6 1/3, 2 hits, only walked the 1, struck out 4. I thought he looked sharp. On paper, it looked like Philly would have a decided advantage with, Wheeler going against Quintana. But Quintana pitched well, worked into the 6th, shutout ball.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. When you get in these playoffs, anything can happen. So tonight, I believe it's Scherzer on the mound against
Scherzer against the Padres against Yu Darvish.
Yeah,
what do you think? So who are your predictions in this series? In these series?
Okay.
Guardians Rays. What do you think of Guardians Rays?
Well, I had the Rays, but
the Guardians are the youngest team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, I love Terry Francona. He's a terrific manager.
Yeah. I like Milwaukee not Milwaukee, the Mariners, because of the pitching, because they've got, Castillo, and then who's going tomorrow? Probably Robbie Ray, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I like that. And then I like the Mets and I like the Cardinals, but after, going into it, tomorrow, Cardinals are, Wow. I mean, you got to come back tomorrow and take the momentum back, or the season's over. And they got to, that's Phillies stole that game, and they're going to come in tomorrow feeling high because they know it's not like the old days where you win one and you got, we stole one on the road, we got to go back home. Now we got the advantage. They still got to win one of two in St. Louis. So it's pretty good chances for Philly right now.
Some of the regulars in the chat, Mark Graves says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Mark? What's going on?" Val
Mark
Ramos
Graves, I met Mark today in person, and he was sat with me and a buddy of mine that we were caught up with him. I saw his tweet, and he said he had a picture that he was at the game, and I said, "Where are you sitting?" There's only a few hundred people out there, so he says, "I'm the guy in the red hat." So I'm looking around. I see a red hat down there, so I just yelled.
MF in the chat, he says, "You hear Farhan's presser today?" And then he asked, "Is Farhan going to stick to his word to be aggressive?"
Yeah,
we shall see. We shall see.
He's also saying that they're going to need pitching, and that Rodon, they fully expect to opt out, and there's an open spot there. But then he says, we're talking to Boros about a mutual, and it's mutual interest between the Giants and Rodon. But to me,
the Farhan has a little a nonverbal tick that tells you when he's moved off. Yeah. When he giggles, the guy's gone.
Yeah.
What do you think of Rodon? We'd love to have him back, but we don't know where the market's going to go. Yes. Anytime he's got anything bad to say, he couches
That's
it with
true.
a giggle.
It's kind of like a pitcher tipping his pitches. Farhan is tipping himself.
He's tipping. When he laughs, the guy's good as gone.
Yeah. I think the thing to do, and I heard Graves say this today, we were talking about free agency. I think the thing to do is go get Judge day, first week. And as soon as the clock strikes midnight, be after him aggressively. Then everything else follows. Kind of like a recruiting, when you get the 5-star guy.
Farhan used that word. He used the word recruiting. Is that where we're at in baseball now? It's all about recruiting.
Well, how recruits agents. Guys, you get the first guy to go, and then the dominoes start to fall. You're not going to get one of the shortstops probably if you don't get Judge. If you can get Judge, then you probably can retain Peterson. If Peterson is not going to re-sign with the Giants, if he sees how things go and they don't add anybody of significance. So
Giants finished, by the way, 81-81.
Yeah.
The first team in the history of the franchise to finish exactly 500. They're the 8th team in Major League Baseball history to win 100 one year and then failed to have a winning record the next year. And according to Buster Olney from ESPN, the Giants are, quote, waiting in the weeds for the offseason to begin so they can heavily pursue Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge. Buster Olney believes the Giants will make a bigger offer for Judge than the Yankees will.
Wow.
Didn't say how much, but you know what? All I got to say is, and we talked about this, you can't expect to win a bid just by $1 or $10 or $100 or even $100,000. You're not going to win by $1 million. You're going to have to win by significant larger offer. So I would say, how much larger of an offer would the Giants have to make? I would say it would probably be in the neighborhood of about $50 million more over the life of the deal. Minimum.
Minimum.
Maybe more. Maybe more.
Yeah. You may have to be way over. And you may just have to just open the market, get him, then go get your shortstop, get pitching and Peterson. I like Brandon Nimmo just because he's shown himself 2 years in a row to have pretty good seasons. I also kind of like maybe on a short, he's 34, but if you go on a 1-year deal, maybe get Seattle's. I'm drawing a blank again. Haniger, Mitch Haniger. He's got power, and I like him over Slater because of the power. Now Slater's got power, but it doesn't turn into home runs.
6 home runs. That's not even pop.
Yeah.
Haniger's a Bay Area guy, went to Bellarmine.
Yeah.
MF says, I missed the 1-game playoffs. Would you like the 1-gamer or the 3-gamer?
I love the 3-game format. I like the 3-game format with all the games at home.
Josh Bell just hit a 2-run bomb to left off Scherzer.
Whoa. Off of Scherzer, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Gosh. Are we looking it's too early, but
I think the Mets are going to hit Darvish tonight. I really do. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Padres have been, an outstanding pitching team down the stretch here.
Yeah, they've done pretty well. I mean, they really turned it up the last couple of weeks. They were looking not too good in September, like they might fade and miss the playoffs altogether. I thought maybe Milwaukee might catch them, but give it, that's the difference between Jace Tingler and Bob Melvin, though. Managers do matter, and Jace Tingler lost the club last year, where Melvin, the Padres were starting to flail again in early September, and they were down to a half-game lead over Milwaukee for the final spot, and Melvin ripped into the club, heard they had a meeting, and Melvin let them have it, and they went on like a big streak, like 8-2 or something, and they took control of the second wild card spot. So I think managers do matter. I mean, you get a guy like Bob Melvin, and when he gets upset, which isn't all the time, managers.
Josh Bell's got some serious bling going right now. Do you see that thing he's got around his neck? I don't know if I've ever seen a baseball player with a shinier piece of jewelry than Josh Bell has right now. Wow.
Yeah. Now he'd be a good pickup. But they're talking
about kiss off belt for him. Kid Trickster, by the way, says Krueg Show. Been a while, fellas. All right, Kid Trickster, good to see you. Kid Trickster says, is Judge really worth it? I would say he is. I mean, first of all, it's just money. Bomber T, we want Judge. I mean, is it going to make sense? Is it a prudent move? I don't know. You're probably going to have to sign the guy to an 8-year deal, maybe 10, somewhere between 30 and 40 million a year. That's going to be,
Do you like the idea of
what's he going to do on the back end of the deal?
Yeah. Do you like the idea of overpaying and bumping that annual salary up high and just going 5 years, like giving them 300, like Ryan suggested, 60 mil for 5 years, and then you're done with it? And
nobody in the history of baseball has blown out the average annual to that degree.
I know.
So that would be viewed. I think that's crazy talk, to be honest. $60 million for an outfielder. He's just not worth it. He's
crazy,
not worth that.
Yeah. You just.
I mean, what? So you can tell everybody that you're trying hard. I mean, I don't know. To me, 60 million is kind of ridiculous. I would say 10 years, 400 million would probably be absolutely the 40 million a year.
Yeah.
Is the highest.
I just hope that Farhan doesn't do the normal stuff and then try and, be at the market level where everybody else is, or try to, get a better deal or wait. And, he has to set the market. And as you said, it's got to be at least 50 million higher than what anybody else is offer. Yeah.
I would say you're going to have to beat the Yankees offer by $50 million.
Yeah.
So let's just assume, because obviously everybody, you talk free agency, immediately everybody's like, Judge. Val Ramos says you guys should make a list of free agents and put it in the show so we can see who's available.
Yeah, we'd have to pull it up online.
We can pull it up online. Here's my list if you couldn't get Aaron Judge. If you could not get Aaron Judge, this would be what I would do with the money.
Let me guess.
Well, I've changed it a little bit.
Since I'm looking at your list, let me guess.
Well, yeah, don't guess because I gave you the list. But here, I'll give everybody else the list. Will Myers is on the list. Why? Because Will Myers does incredibly well inside the ballpark. And he's a right-handed power hitter. I think you can get him for a reasonable amount. I'm going with Stephen Piscotty because I think Piscotty you can get for cheap. And probably, Piscotty would probably like to stay in the Bay Area. So you might be able to get Piscotty on a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. Then I'd like to go get Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier, I just think, is a winner. He's Tampa wins a lot of games. He's won a lot of baseball games. I think he's played his best ball. He's a left-handed hitter, go-getter, fly around the yard, dive. He's one of those guys that gets dirty and, he's going to steal a base. He's just a guy who shows up to beat you. So I'm going with Kiermaier. I'm going with Trey Turner, and I'm playing him at second base. I'm bringing back Matt Duffy. I'm signing a guy like Sean Manaea, and maybe Chad Kuhl instead of Carlos Rodon. I'll go Manaea and Kuhl. Manaea doesn't have very good numbers coming off a year where he had a 5.11 ERA. So, and then I think if the other name that I would like to add to that list is Jorge Soler. I think I would make a big play for Jorge Soler. So that's if I couldn't get Judge. Will Myers, Stephen Piscotty, Kevin Kiermaier, Trey Turner, Matt Duffy, Sean Manaea, Chad Kuhl, Jorge Soler. I even like Chad Pinder in a part-time role, getting him away from the A's. That's about 10 free agents right there. The only big name one would be Trey Turner. Everybody else, I think you could probably get. You might have to pay a few bucks for Sean Manaea or Chad Kuhl, but for the most part, Trey Turner's the only big money item there. The rest of them are kind of low-cost free agents. But I think that might be the best route this year. What do you think, Danny? You had a list of guys as well. Who would you like to see here? Dan, can you hear us?
I had it on mute. My mic. I didn't realize it. Yeah, my non-Judge free agent list would start with Trey Turner or Carlos Correa or Dansby Swanson. One of those three becomes.
Is Swanson realistic? Because he lives in Atlanta.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's hard to say what the Braves offer and what the Braves got a lot of guys under contract for the next 8 years or so. So. We'll see where they want, what they're going to do with Dansby. My center fielder, I went with Brandon Nimmo. Mitch Haniger would be my corner left fielder, designated hitter. I even threw Joey Gallo in there. He could play one of the corners. Here's an interesting one. He's not technically a free agent, but he's got a $10 million contract. But the the Brewers can buy him out for $2 million. And if they do, I'd like to see the Giants go get Colton Wong at second base, lefty with some pop. And
didn't they have his brother? Didn't they have his brother on their 40 man? I think they
did in the minors. Yeah, I don't know if they still do.
Maybe that will help them recruit him.
Yeah, pitching. Adding a starting pitcher, Chris Bassett or Nathan Eovaldi.
I like Bassett a lot.
Yeah, and then. I don't know if his arm, depending on his health, but he's a free agent. I know he was hurt this year with the Dodgers and he elected not to have surgery. So I don't know. Depends on his health, but I would say Blake Trinan in the bullpen and Taylor Rogers, Tyler's brother, the lefty. Like to see him kind of beef up that.
Do you want
bullpen.
Tyler coming back?
I'm okay with it in spots. I don't want to see him in the late innings. I'd rather see him as more of a fifth or sixth inning guy at the most.
Who do you see in their pen? Because I was looking at the list of guys who they used this year, and it's a lengthy list.
Yeah.
And there's guys from early in the year, middle of the year, late in the year. Like, do you like Shelby Miller? Do you like
Shelby's
Gregory
okay.
Santos?
I mean, we'll see how he does. I mean, I like
is Alvarez coming back?
Yeah, that's the question I was just going to ask. Wilson Alvarez is he
Jose Alvarez?
Jose I always call him Wilson. Why do I call him Wilson? Was there a Wilson Alvarez?
Yeah, Wilson Alvarez came over in the white flag trade, 97.
Okay, yeah. So Jose Alvarez, is he healthy enough? I don't know what his issues were. My guess is he's probably not going to be healthy. So, I mean, they've got some guys in this, some lefties. I mean, I like the kid Alexander, who's from the Bay Area as well, from the Sac area, I believe. Scott Alexander, who pitched.
He pitched well. He pitched well for them. He really did.
He pitched well. We'll see about Garcia, but I think they need a couple of arms. Maybe, if you're going to go with Trinan or Taylor Rogers, maybe the lefty Rogers, and then you have the two brothers together. Maybe that emotional support and having his twin brother there, maybe it kind of gives a spark to Tyler Rogers. I mean, he pitched awful the first half of the year, but he really, the last 5-6 weeks, I don't think he even gave up hardly a run, did he, in the last month?
He pitched really, really well. Yeah, I mean, he was incredibly effective. They got a bunch of guys. I mean, I was looking at a list of, like what role do you put Sean Jelly in, for example? Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a reliever? I was looking at I'd like to see them show up in spring training with like 10 starters. And this is what I got right now. Alex Wood, Alex Cobb, DeSclafani, Logan Webb, Sean Manaea, Chad Kuhl, Jacob Junis, Sam Long, Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison, I heard Farhan say he will be in the rotation next year at some point. Is what Romo had texted me. So, I mean, that's good. I mean, they watched his innings this year. So, I think they'll,
so, I mean, look at the pen. Camilo Doval, you got Scott Alexander, you got Brebbia, Harleen Garcia, Sean Jelly, Junior Marte, Shelby Miller, Tyler Rogers, Cole Waits, Jose Alvarez, Mauricio Lovera, Gregory Santos, Thomas Zapucki, Randy Rodriguez. They got a bunch of arms, really. I mean, they have a bunch. I don't know exactly who's going to man what role, but they could go into spring training with just the arms that they have under control and probably have a deep enough bullpen. They either got to bring back Rodon or they got to find a couple starters besides Rodon to take his place. You muted yourself again.
Keep muting my mic because I'm hearing my wife. She's doing something and it's making noise, so I keep muting it so it doesn't come on. The situation with Rodon, it just bugs me because, to me, if they lose him to free agency, especially if he signs with the Dodgers, and you didn't trade him at the trade deadline when you said Farhan just misread the room all year long, believing that this was the team they had, the present. I believe in the present. And then we saw what it was like, and now looks like he may walk. I think you could have had a guy like Anthony Vlope of the Yankees, because wouldn't the Yankees love to have Carlos Rodon right now in the playoffs? They'd be probably the favorite. But because their pitching's a little bit, suspect, their starting pitching, they probably get knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet the Mets tonight against the Padres, and of course they're down in a 2-0 hole, but they're coming back. Mets have Vogel back at the plate. If there's anybody who doesn't look like a professional athlete on a professional diamond, it's Vogelback. I mean,
yes,
Vogelback is probably the least athletic pro athlete in America.
Yeah. Did Darren Ruff get on the roster, or did they leave him off? Do you know?
I don't, but I would guess they left him off because he was atrocious.
Yeah, I just remember that bomb he hit off Urias last year. Wasn't that in Game 5? Tied it up 1-1.
Yeah.
It's
funny how baseball in the postseason, every out means is just critical. I mean, the Mets, Padres scored 2 on the Josh Bell opposite field home run to go
with 2 out.
Yeah. Mets now have 1 out, first and third, and this inning is just at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
Do you like postseason baseball? Do you have concerns about the time of baseball games in the playoffs, or are you okay with whatever pace they play?
Yeah, I'm okay this year right now because it's so tense, playoff baseball, and the drama. But I was out at the Arizona Fall League today with the pitch clock, and it's coming next year.
And the bigger bases too?
I think they were. I couldn't really tell. Maybe Graves, he was there today. Maybe he noticed it. I tried to look at the bases, but I like the pitch clock because it was like 15 seconds with nobody on. And so guys, there's a fly ball. Is that a fair or foul? That's deep.
No, he caught it.
And that was the end of the inning, huh?
That was the end of the inning. So the Mets don't score. Could have been a 2-run shot.
What's Melvin coming out here for?
I don't know. Yeah, he probably had some question. Eric Hernandez says, "What's up, Larry? What's up, Dan? Happy hot stove. Happy hot stove, Eric."
Yeah, it's going to get fun here in about a month. November 7th, first day of free agency. So today's the October 7th. So a month from today, things will start heating up, and then hopefully the Giants, make some big deals, because in December, the first week of December, you got the general managers meetings, or the winter meetings, so to speak, in San Diego.
Well, which one? Is it GM meetings or the winter
I think
meetings?
It's the winter meetings, actually.
Oh, is it?
I'd love to go down there for the winter meetings, because it seems like it used to be where trades happened in the winter. I remember Bobby Mercer coming to the Giants for Bobby Bonds, and I was like, oh, man. Back then, Bobby Mercer was supposed to be the thing, the next Mickey Mantle for the Yankees. But
Bobby Mercer hated San Francisco.
Yeah.
He couldn't hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
They traded him for Madlock, right? Traded him to the Cubbies for Madlock.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Mercer became kind of a little bit of a folk hero in Chicago in the late 70s. I was there in 77 when Bobby Mercer was like the Cubbies' best power hitter. And it was that was like the key baseball card that summer. Oh, did you get Bobby Mercer? Bobby Mercer. It is going to be an interesting time for sure to see if the Giants do anything. They're going to do something, you would think. But, are they going to make the kinds of moves that are going to make you think that they've turned it around? I mean, their record in the Interleague, fine. And against the NL East, it was fine. Against the NL Central, it was fine. They've just gotten dominated in their division by the Dodgers and the Padres and Arizona to a little bit of a lesser degree.
They went 6-13 against the Padres and 4-15 against the Dodgers, 9-10 against Arizona. So those 57 games, they won a total of, what was it? They won 9, 6, 15. They won 19. 19 and 38, I think. Something like that. 37, 19 and 30, whatever it was.
They got to do better than that. I mean, they absolutely got to do better than that.
Or maybe it was 19 and 40.
On one hand, you got the Giants story. What is their offseason going to look like? On the other hand, Terra Dome says Draymond that like button. So what did you think of that, Danny? That was the other big story the last couple of days.
Draymond my first reaction
was...
Did
you see the TMZ video? What did you think of it?
I did. It
pretty good
unfortunately,
shot.
it changes it. Before the video, I commented that my first comment before the video was, this stuff happens and you work it out.
I saw that you kind of put out the boys will be boys kind of a reaction.
Yeah. And then that Draymond, apologized but I think a lot of it's going to have to do with how does Jordan Poole react? If he's fine with it and he gets along well with Draymond and he's playing well and he's not having an issue, I think you ride with Draymond and get this year out of him. I do think it.
What's the bigger issue here, though, Danny? Is it the discipline, or is it the leak of the video?
Yeah.
Now, there's a story out on ESPN. Ramona Shelburne, Adrian Wojnarowski, that the Warriors are taking, quote, every legal course of action to discover how video of Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole during a scuffle at practice on Wednesday was made public. Green apologized to the team and Poole yesterday, and then the Warriors, Steve Kerr and Bob Myers and Steph Curry addressed the media regarding the incident. Kerr rebuffed all reports that in any way, kind of pointed the finger at Poole for changing his attitude, saying it's absolutely not true, that Poole has a great attitude. So everybody's clearly pointing the finger at Draymond Green, who once again has vaulted over the line, it sounds like. The question is, what do you do about it? Do you care about it? Is it a big deal? I kind of tweeted out that, Draymond he's a winner. There's no doubt about that. And he's volatile, and he'll occasionally vault over the line. And if you want to live with, you want to take all the positives of him being a winner and a great team basketball player and that kind of thing, you got to kind of take him for everything, right? And that means some of his times where he crosses the line, but there's always going to be kind of like somebody measuring your contribution versus, the positives versus the negatives. And I think still the positives outweigh the negatives, but eventually as Draymond ages, his positives will not outweigh his negatives. Right. Eventually the negatives will outweigh the positives, and then they'll probably want to move on.
Let's put it this way.
It's not about money, though. Yeah. A lot of people say, no, it's about money. I don't think both these guys are going to make just gobs and gobs of money. If it truly is about money, that's pathetically sad. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, the pressure is going to mount because it got leaked. The question is, did a low-level video intern get paid off and take a big payout?
Obviously they did, because it was a private Warrior practice video.
Or did someone...
Another home run for the Padres. Grisham has gone yard, 3-0 Padres.
Wow. You're ahead of me here, because I'm actually, if I turn my TV on, I'd get it quicker, but I'm streaming it. There it goes. Yep. The question is, did anyone in the Warriors top organization, Cy tweeted out? Did you see Cy's tweet?
No.
Let me see if I can find it so I can actually quote it properly, but it had something to do with upper management. Let me see if I can. I'll just pull. Here we go.
Bob Myers said these things happen. Nobody likes it. We don't condone it, but it happens. This is Myers speaking Thursday. He said Draymond apologized to the team. Jordan was there in the room. As far as any suspension, punishment, time, we will handle that internally. So
yeah,
I think it's a bigger deal, to be honest, that somebody's leaking their private in-house video to TMZ than Jordan Poole and Draymond Green are getting frustrated and short with each other, and it went to fisticuffs. I don't know. I don't take the fisticuffs lightly, but at the same time, that's not as big a deal. The bigger deal is you've got like somebody from within who's trying to incite this thing and make it into something bigger. And you want to eradicate your room of all people like that, I would imagine.
Here's a tweet from Cy. This is a different one, but he says his first one, which had me, was he talked about the – gosh, he's got a lot of tweets today. But he thought maybe someone in the upper management might have done something in there at the and then he just tweeted 3 hours ago that Joe Lacob's cousin, Greg Lacob, was upset over being passed up for a promotion and leaked the video to TMZ, is what Cy's sources. Warriors owner Joe Lacob's cousin Greg Lacob was upset over being passed up for a promotion and leaked the video to TMZ.
That's a lot of Lacobs working there because he's got both of his sons working there as well. So now he's got his nephew and both of his sons working there.
Man. So I don't know.
Who would you rather have if it came down to Jordan Poole, Draymond Green?
Oh,
Green means more to the team, but
yeah, I take older. Poole just because he's so young and he's got a whole, just at this point, he's but
I think I'd still side with Green. I think Green's more harder to replace. I think you could move on from Jordan Poole and still win a title. Are you going to win a title without Draymond Green this year?
Yeah, I do think this is going to have because of, I've been listening to a lot of the people talking about it, and I think this does, unfortunately, because it got out, it puts a stain on Draymond because it was such a, it wasn't a sucker punch because he didn't come from behind, but Poole wasn't expecting it. And, to knock him.
I've yet to watch it on TMZ.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you might. I think.
What do you think? How violent is it?
Pretty violent. He knocked him into the back wall and he fell. He went down.
Where did he hit him in his face?
It looked like about right here in the jaw, almost, kind of.
Yeah, he landed it flush.
Yeah. What happened? You could probably put it up here because there's no sound to it. It's pretty remarkable because it's about a 40-second clip, but they were just kind of, just look it up on Twitter and you'll see it. It does change the narrative quite a bit. That's what I'm hearing. And I heard Willard say this changes quite a bit. Guys, Damon Bruce tweeted it out. Willard, I heard over at the changeover there at the game, they were all talking about it, and it's not good. Shannon Sharp even came down on Green pretty hard. This was, man, yeah. I think the fact that he, Ron Adams is kind of walking over there into the video and looks like he sees something's coming, and then all of a sudden, I don't think he expected that. But wow,
looks like a right hand, huh?
Yeah.
So Poole pushed Green off, and then all of a sudden, here came the shot.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying, we want your live reaction. Larry, please watch it. He crumpled him.
I'm watching it right now. He pushes him. Ooh, he did hit him good.
Yeah, look at it. He just knocked him into the back wall, and he went down.
Draymond's got that long reach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was.
So Draymond's talking. Well, Michigan. This is Michigan on
Michigan
State on Michigan.
Yeah. I think
Draymond walks over. Poole Get off me. Boom. And then Draymond looked like he was going to hit him again.
Yeah, he was down in Draymond when they had to pull him off. Yeah.
But why does this change anything to them?
I think it changes because it's
they don't know what a punch looks like.
No, I think it's going to be up to Steph's team. If Steph can mend it, and Steph can, there's already talks.
Nick says you got to get rid of Green. He's a cancer now. I'd rather use the money to extend Wiggs and Poole.
It's tough because if Steph, see, here's the deal. It took a lot of tension to the team the whole year after the Durant thing, and that was against the Clippers, and then they ended up getting to the finals that year, but they lost. But it was a rough season.
Green's on the baseline, on the sideline, and Poole's on the baseline. Green walks up to him, jawing, obviously, gets in his face, kind of leans into him. Poole kind of pushes him off, and then Draymond just throws a right cross, and Poole goes down.
Yeah. So this says a lot why they were so upset at the press conference when they looked so shell-shocked. Myers and Kerr and Curry. They're just – Curry doesn't like all this stuff. He wants –
Well, I mean, nobody really.
I mean,
Nobody's really a fan of this.
No one is. But, I mean, Curry's – I do think it'll come down to meetings, private meetings between Myers and –
What do you think TMZ paid for that?
Million?
No,
maybe half.
No.
Maybe 300,000-400,000.
That's not $1 million video.
Yeah, 300,000-400,000. It's getting a lot of takes, man.
I would say $50K. That's
really. I would think it would be more than that.
6 figures, 7 figures.
I'm thinking 7
I'm
figures. I'm thinking 300, 400, 5. I don't know. Look at all the hits they're getting. I have no idea. I mean, for a guy that maybe 50K, is it worth?
Clarence Beek says, Larry, please watch it. I just watched it. He crumples him. I think there'll be a few boo birds for Draymond on ring night.
I mean, if it truly was Lacob's.
I mean, I don't know if my live reaction. I mean, I don't know if it was that great. It was just like, wow, he did hit him good, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I still, come on.
I think it creates,
it's pro sports. It's not, you can't compare it to office life. You can't compare it to, hey, if a guy at the next cubicle, well, yeah, that's corporate America. It's not corporate America.
Here's my prediction on this. And I haven't really had time to think it through, but if this doesn't get resolved, like when I say resolved, like within the media, within the first, let's say season starts in 10 days. If this thing's still being talked about come November, I think they'll get rid of him.
Jackson J says Draymond's best days are behind him. 2021, 2022 Dubs started 9-game win streak when he was out. Got kicked out against the Grizzlies. Game 4, Green benched. And the Dubs turned the game around. Lacob will look forward, not backwards. I don't know, man. How key is Draymond to winning? I think he's integral.
If this is still a story a month from now, they're not going to go.
Calba says he agrees with you. He says, I agree with Danny in that it does change some things. Green realizes he's on the wrong side of 30, and he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt when he has dry spells again. Well, there's no question. I mean, people have made exceptions for people who produce at an absurdly high level since the beginning of time. But as soon as you stop producing at that insanely incredible level, you're a piranha. And if you don't believe me, go look at Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds everybody loved Barry Bonds until suddenly he was like a 25 home run guy. And then it was like, what? all he's going to do is to hit 25 home runs. We're not putting up with this crap. And the negatives outweigh the positives, and he was gone. He was basically banned from the game while he still was productive because the negatives outweighed the positives at 28 home runs or 25 home runs, right? Isn't that pretty much it?
Yeah. What do you think? There was a trade proposal that somebody put out before all this video came out, just 2 days ago. When it first came out, somebody was talking. I think it was already talking about, but it was because of Draymond's love with LeBron and the whole clutch sports thing. It was Miles Turner coming to the Warriors, Draymond going to the Lakers, and Russell Westbrook going to Indiana. And it worked.
More people. Doesn't work. I don't know if that works because
they said it worked financially. I would have, loved Miles Turner.
I like Miles Turner. He can shoot the three. He's a bigger bodied guy. I mean, the Warriors they don't have to stay with Draymond. They got a loaded team. They could be a title contender without him. They're kind of fortified now with Kuminga there and Moody. These guys are ready to play significant minutes. Even Baldwin looks like a ready-made NBA player. He's ready, it looks like, for minutes. So this is probably the best time to trade Draymond. But then where are you going to trade him? What are you going to get? It is interesting, though. It is interesting. Would you, if Bob Myers were on this show and he said, guys, I know you guys are both Warrior fans. Keep him. Make it and mend the fence, or trade him and get down the road?
To me, it all depends.
To you.
Again, it all depends on.
You put all that on Poole?
I'm
going to let Poole make that call?
Well, I'm going to let Curry and Poole work it out as far as and pull in Draymond, and if Curry and he can mend the fence. He's already talked separately with Poole and Draymond, and he's working.
It seems like the team is pro Poole.
Yeah. You're seeing a lot of pro Poole. You're seeing comments. Now, one question that came out was who put out the tweet that said Poole was wasn't it
stirring it up?
Yeah, he said
saying
Poole stirring
Poole,
and that he's getting cocky. He's coming to
Poole's
camp.
attitude has changed.
Yeah, who put that out? It was the guy.
Who?
I'm trying to remember who. Chris Hayes, I think it was.
Haynes.
Haynes. But did that come from Draymond? Okay.
Could have come from a player.
Yeah. So did Draymond, because Kerr and Curry are denying it completely. They're saying Jordan is great. So did Draymond say something to Chris Haynes that, hey, look, this guy's popping off. He's cocky. And Haynes went with the story. And now it's being refuted by the Warriors. If that's the case, you could see a big swing toward Poole. And, if they're not standing up for their 4-time champion, it's kind of what I said the other night.
Is it closer to a big deal, a small deal, or no deal?
I think it's a big deal now.
You think it's a big deal?
Out. Now
really?
that video's out. I think it was a mid-sized deal internally.
The report was that he struck Poole, and then you saw him striking Poole. So you really think the video is that?
I think the way he hit Poole. Like, I think if he would have, given.
You think he
Poole,
sucker punched him? You mean?
No, I think if he would have hit him in the chest, or if he would have just pushed him down, would have been. But when you cold cock a guy, who's not expecting it. I mean, that looked like Muhammad Ali with that big right arm coming, and just. I mean, it was a good boxing hit. I mean, it was it was quick.
Did he stand over Poole and say, if he dies, he dies? That was on last night. If he dies, he dies. Rocky IV.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Also, Rocky 3 and 4 were on last night. Clubber Lang, Mr. T. Clubber Lang was intimidating, man.
Yeah.
They made Mr. T look.
Which Rocky did you like the best? 1, 2, 3,
I
or
kind of
4?
liked Rocky 4. I like Rocky 4 with Drago. If he dies, he dies.
Now, have you seen?
And then they played that song where he's, he's in his sports car and he's driving. No easy way out. No shortcut. No shortcut home. And
did you like the one with Creed's son when Rocky was his trainer and he fought Drago's son?
I don't think I saw that.
That's a good one.
But
yeah.
I'll say this: the end of 4 is so freaking hokey. If I could change and yous can change, then we all can change. Yeah, woo! It's like, God, stop. It was awful.
Well,
I started changing the way I thought about yous, and you started changing the way you thought about me. I mean, it's
hey, Paulie, Doc would recommend I don't fight. I recommend I do.
And also, Rocky 3 had Rocky 4 had James Brown, singing.
Yeah.
Before Creed gets killed by Drago.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty sweet song.
Anonymous says it was Creed 2. Yeah, Creed 2 was Creed's son.
Val Ramos says Draymond's being a bully. Jackson J says Green's punch is not what a team leader should be doing. Well,
the bad thing is that he's 32, he's the veteran, and you got a young team. I mean, you look at Baldwin's face in the video; he kind of looks like shocked, like what the hell's going on? I just got out of high school, basically, and I idolize
Draymond Green's kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's much ado about nothing. I do. I mean, come on. I mean, and now it's incredibly violent compared to our world, but I just don't think it's anything. I think Kerr can surf these waters. Don't you? I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned, and I wouldn't suspend Draymond, and I would just try to get beyond it.
Yeah, I think he's. I think the video
crosses the line, man. He crosses the line.
It puts too much pressure on the club now.
I think it's safe now to say that's part of his. Don't you think that's part of his kind of MO?
Yeah, I think this is probably his worst move, though. I never had a problem with what he did in Game 4 against LeBron because
I didn't either.
I
thought that was I thought that was what I would call a reciprocal response.
Yeah, LeBron's the one that
LeBron did.
LeBron instigated that.
LeBron teabagged him.
Yeah, and Green gets up after he gets stepped over and swipes at him, but didn't touch him. He didn't even reach him
in his direction. He didn't even touch him.
Yeah, and then they suspended. That was a bogus call to the NBA. That was weak, and I had no problem. I didn't think Draymond did anything wrong there, but the thing.
I like the old days when Bad Moon Rising and Deion Sanders could literally throw 10 blows on each other, and neither guy got ejected.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, yes.
These guys fought each other with their helmets on, threw constant blows for like 10 seconds. Nobody got ejected.
Well, how about when Rambus gets taken down by McHale,
clothesline by McHale,
and they just go fighting, and nobody gets tossed.
I don't think it was anything more than a common foul.
And
wasn't even technical.
But he just there was no nothing. He totally today he would have been thrown out and suspended.
Public enemy number one.
Yeah, he would have been suspended for a game or two.
Right, he'd be on the Today Show. About how he's cruel and unusual.
He makes Dylan Brooks shot on GP2 nothing. What McHale did to Rambus.
Clotheslined him in midair.
Yeah.
Clarence Beek says Draymond stays because Steph says so. Steph is very irritated. Reporters saying he's never been this short with them. I didn't see that. Did Steph seem increasingly irritated by this?
He looked upset. Yeah. And this is the thing. They're coming off of a high. They're coming off an unbelievable, improbable championship. You go to Japan. You have this, 14, 15-hour flight both ways. You spend a few days in Japan. You got a real good team building. And so you're coming off this and you're looking to defend your title. You got ring night in 10 nights, 10 days from now. And then now you're dealing with this. So it would not surprise me if Draymond is if he's not present at the first week or two of the season.
Really? Val Ramos says, how much smaller is Poole? Poole's like 6'4". Here we go. Clarence Beeks kind of lays it out. He says, Poole's 6'4", 195, 23. Draymond 6'6", 230, 32. Draymond has the longer reach.
Yes, he's got a 7'1",
which helps in this situation. Calba says the bigger question is why this happened. I worry that Draymond won't age gracefully. He'll be problematic when his skills diminish. Maybe that time is now. I don't believe people have speculated that it's all about the fact that Draymond knows he's not going to get extended at max money. And that Poole likely is. I don't believe it has anything to do with that. I don't. Come on. Really? Draymond Green has probably got $75 million in the bank, $50 million in the bank. Really? He's really bent because now at his advanced age, he's not going to get max money, and Poole is a much younger player with a better future. I don't buy that. I think this is just Poole probably trying to kind of, let everybody know that he's pretty good and that he wants to get paid. And Draymond is, just probably pushing back on Poole acting like he's a hot shot. That'd be my guess. Yeah. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, it's such a big, as they say, what a fuster. It's a fuster clock right now. it's a mess. So,
oh, there it is. Calba says "Living in America" was the James Brown song.
Yeah,
"Living in America." Yeah, he does it in Rocky IV. It's great.
Yeah. So,
but I would say it's not that big a deal. I think they'll get beyond it. I think they know that who Draymond is. So they know that he's kind of occasionally, he crosses the line. There's no doubt. And it sounds like from listening to Kerr say things that maybe Kerr's like trying to tell him, hey man, you've crossed the line. You really have. So, all right. I think that's going to do it for our live stream tonight. Danny, you're getting ready to go out, huh? You got a hot date? Dan muted yourself. You muted.
Yeah, it's always a good date with my wife. Yeah.
There you go.
So,
all right, let's do this. Right now, we have somebody outside my studio making lots and lots and lots of noise. But we'll do this. We'll play the spots and call it a show on the Krueg Show. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use Telmetrics.co, Telmetrix.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
So New York Style Sausage was started over 70 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, you know, from Connecticut.
If you look at all of our labels, there's maximum 4 or 5 ingredients, which we're really proud of.
There's no preservatives, no MSG, fresh in, fresh out.
The pork comes in fresh, goes out fresh. There's never any freezing throughout the process. We've always used fine quality cuts. We're never going to deter from that. It's one of the reasons why our sausage is so good. I guarantee you put our sausage up against anybody else's from a flavor standpoint, no one will beat it, hands down.
Hey, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go buy a package of the New York style Italian sausage. Guaranteed you will love it. Guaranteed.
All right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger, Dan Coccimilgio. Calba Camiga says Draymond was just expressing himself with his hands. Just like Pasquale said, express yourself with your hands. Clarence Beek says Warriors without Draymond is like church without God. Yes. Romo 2001. Pasquale is a better Uncle Charlie than Scherzer. That's pretty good. Poupon Boy says that's what happens when you miss Sunday dinner. Totes McGoats, Draymond's a bully. That's the bottom line. Eddie says I'd cut him now. F him. Jeez, that's a little harsh. Eric says Niners won because I had my New York style Italian sausage on a Monday night. There you go.
Hey, also, MF, you still in the house? If you are, I'm going to be sending you a trade request here soon.
What are you trading now?
Yeah,
what is it? Let's let the rest of us hear what you're requesting.
I was working on it here, and
hold on while you're getting it. Anonymous is correct, Romo, which is an interesting barometer for these old guys and these deals. Scherzer, Verlander, DeGrom. It's a long year, and Scherzer ran out of gas each year. Looks like this year too. So there you go.
Yeah, it's I was trying to make it into a real blockbuster. You know, I like doing some blockbuster deals, but right now I'm looking at Jalen Hurts.
You're trading Jalen Hurts?
No, he's got Hurts.
He's trading him?
Well, I've got Kyler Murray. So they're kind of similar, but he's got Connor. And so
Romo says, Dan, are you stockpiling for a possible nuclear strike?
I was thinking maybe Jalen Hurts and Christian Kirk for Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray. And then he has all these Arizona guys. He has Murray and Hollywood Brown.
That's what you want. You want a bunch of guys on one team. So when they take a bye, you just automatically lose.
Well, you have to move around. But
Calba says, Dan sent me a trade request and then rescinded the trade before I even saw the offer.
Well, because you took too long, Calba. Oh, no. Which one was it I had for you? You remember? You don't even – because I needed
Danny's proposing trades, but he's like Billy Bean. The first person that calls me back gets Venafro. Right? You're like that. You're like that kind of
who I got a trade request out, but he's not answering is Farhan's is it fresh in or fresh out? Let me see. Fresh in, fresh out. Carlo P. You got to check the wires there because I'm trying to make a deal with you and I don't get any response and I move on.
How about this one? Rye has offered me Devin Singletary and Brian Robinson for Kareem Hunt.
Don't do it. I'm playing Rye right now this week. He's trying.
You don't think I should do it?
No. Singletary.
Talbot says Godwin for completes.
Let me see what my actual trade request that I have pending.
Romo 2001. Anyone else hear Farhan's presser? I heard it.
Hey, here's a big deal.
Farhan's presser.
Bits and pieces of it I've heard on Twitter. Here's this big monster trade that I threw out to Carlo P with whatever his team's name is. I proposed Kittle, Davis and Wilson from the Jets, along with Jonathan Taylor for Goff, McCaffrey, and TJ Hawkinson. Well,
Jonathan Taylor doesn't look real good right now.
But he's going to pick up.
Offense.
He's going to pick up.
Maybe. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So I can't remember. Oh,
Calba says, Larry, you could have done Farhan's presser.
Yeah, Calba, would you take that deal? Russell Gage for Chris Godwin? I don't think I can do it now because I actually dropped Gage and I picked up who did I pick up? Kyle Phillips from Tennessee.
Did you? The UCLA kid?
Yeah, he's supposed to have a big game this week, according to some people.
Wow.
I don't know. Somebody guaranteed that I heard it'd be 15 points this week, but I don't know if that's true.
That would be something. How about Seattle last week with their offense and Geno Smith? He went off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
We're in a tough league this year. There's hardly any good free agents.
I know. There's no free agents at all. Yeah.
So there's been a lot of movement. Somebody just dumped Russell Gage for Kyle Phillips. That was you?
Me, yeah. I just heard. I didn't really.
You dumped Russell Gage.
Well, Godwin's back, and so is Mike Evans.
MF has made a lot of moves.
Yeah, MF's made a lot of moves. That's why I'm trying to make another move with him because I want
MF dumped Wandale Robinson. He just picked him up.
Oh, really?
I dumped Chase Claypool for Alec Pierce. And then
that was
Pierce
a good move.
Pretty well
that was a good move last night. You got, what, 11 points out of
No, I didn't. I kept him on the bench, though.
Oh, I thought you
I got a pretty stacked. I got a pretty stacked roster, but now I found out today that Keenan Allen's out.
Oh, I thought he was playing this week.
No, he's out. So who do I play? Do I go with I might have to pick somebody up.
You need You want Duvernay?
I'm gonna have to pick up a wide receiver.
You need Duvernay? I got Duvernay. Or let
me check the wide receiver free agent market. Here's
Corey Davis,
Josh Reynolds, Devontae Parker.
Got to get somebody.
Maybe Devontae Parker against Detroit. That might not be bad.
Yeah, because Detroit's pretty. They're leaking oil there on defense. Corey Davis.
What do you want for Corey Davis?
Let me look at your roster here. The Kruegerans.
There's not a lot of good receivers available. Is DJ Chark playing? No, he's out. Might not be bad.
I'll take Dotson. He's out.
Agnew. He's out.
I'll take Dotson from you.
For who?
Corey Davis.
I'm not sure about that. What do you think of Jamal Agnew? He had 19 points this last game
for the Jags.
For the Jags.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Somebody picked him up. Who picked him up? Was that MF? Did MF pick him up?
Well, he's out there right now.
Is he?
Get him.
What?
Yeah. I'm about to pick him up right now.
Is he a running back though, right?
No, he's a wide receiver.
He is? Agnew?
Yep.
I'm thinking of the other guy. Okay, let me players. Well,
making fantasy moves in the middle of a live stream.
Yes. Oh,
all right,
man.
Hey, that's going to do it for us. I got to go have some dinner.
Yeah. Going too.
Rye never made it, so I'm not sure what happened to Rye, but next time we visit with Rye, we'll play some of our 49er interviews from the week. But hope you enjoyed our little conversation and enjoy the baseball. 3-0 still. Padres on top of the Mets. This game now in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And the Mets are doing nothing so far against Yu Darvish. So hopefully they will come back because I've got money on the New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mets. All right, Danny, have a great night.
The Dodgers.
Have a big date night.
Yeah.
Were you guys going to a dinner and a movie?
Just a dinner, yeah.
Now, where are we going? It's Arizona, man. I mean, you got all kinds of options.
Yeah, you got all kinds of options. Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
I'm not sure yet. I usually like a steak place.
What's in the rotation? What's in the Coccimilgio rotation? You got.
I like Firebirds.
You got Alex Wood. You got Cobb. You got DeSclafani. What's your restaurant rotation?
Oh, we got Firebirds, which is kind of a nice steakhouse. I love their baked potatoes, salted.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's see. Where else is
Ruth Chris is in there's a Ruth Chris right there in Scottsdale.
Yeah, there's Ruth Chris. I like Firebirds. It's a lot less expensive and it's just as good to me. They're
you guys got Benihana?
Yeah.
You ever hit Benihana?
Yeah. I've hit that.
Spot.
It's been a while since I've hit that. What else do we like to hit? Sometimes
Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah, Applebee's is a place. Yeah. Gosh, what's the name of it? It's
pizza.
Been a while. Do I go pizza?
Yeah. What's the pizza of choice there?
Oh gosh, it's been a few years. There's a place.
A few years since you had a pizza?
No, to this place.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of the place that.
It's un-American to go more than like 2 months without having pizza.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of the darn place because it's been a few years, but I'll come up with it next time. But it's a good.
Well, enjoy your night. Have a great meal with your significant other, and we will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks.
Sounds
You
good.
too.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah.